Hello everyone, and welcome into our special reading for the Libra Lunar Eclipse. So today I'm going to be pulling some cards for each individual zodiac sign, as well as a couple of oracle cards to give you a special message for you for this eclipse that's happening. So this is energetically what happens during this eclipse is we have a full moon, and then we have a new moon, and then it's back to a full moon. So remember, when we have full moons, that is about closing out cycles. It's about, moving on from things that are no longer serving us. And then our new moon is that time about planting seeds for a better future, or for, future growth for you. And then we go back to a full moon. So it's back to closing out things that are no longer serving us. Also, remember, this is a good time to set your crystals out to let them be cleansed in the moonlight. So let's go ahead and I'll move some of these oracle cards out of the way. And we'll do it like this, where I just spread them out, and I'll pull cards for each individual zodiac sign. And since this is a Libra lunar eclipse, we'll start with Libra. And remember that this is also, it's about putting additional focus on relationships. And for the ones where it's a good connection, it's about kind of reaffirming that commitment or taking the next step and deepening that relationship. And for connections where it's not such a good connection, it's really going to have you looking at, okay, what is the purpose of this relationship, whether it's romantic, whether it's business relationships, whether it's friends. What is really the purpose of this relationship? Is it serving my highest good, or am I in it just because I'm used to being in it? So like I said, we will start with Libra, and let's go ahead and pull 3 cards to see what is coming up for you. 1, 2, 3. All right. So the 3 cards we have 5 of Pentacles, we have Justice in reverse, and then we have 7 of Wands in reverse. So these might be a little bit dark. So here's our cards here for Libra. So your 5 of Pentacles that's a card about feeling like you're being locked out of your blessings, like you're out in the cold, like you're struggling. This card has a lot to do with hardships. Your 7 of Wands in reverse is going to be a sense of like weakness and burnout and surrender. And then with your Justice in reverse, that's about feeling like there's imbalances. So this is really going to have you focusing on, what is it that needs to change, because you're at that stage of burnout, and, you can't maintain that for very long. You're going to have to do something about it. So let's see what some of the oracle cards are coming. We'll do 2 moon cards, and then we'll do a Gaia card as well. So we have, the first one is conclusions are within reach, and step out of your comfort zone. So conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse, which is exactly what's happening in your sign. So you're getting to the end of this, and this step out of your comfort zone, North Node, that is all about, your North Node is, what is your mission? What are you here to learn? What are you here on this planet to do? And North Node is in Aries right now through January. So that's all about being unapologetically you. It's about standing in your truth. So when you look at this sense of feeling like things are out of balance, like you're burned out, like you're locked out of your blessings, what is it that is incongruent with what you're here on this planet to do? And whatever that is what you're being pushed to release right now. So even if it feels uncomfortable, you are being told, with this full moon eclipse, conclusions are within reach. What is it that needs to change in order to make you feel like you're not locked out of your blessings? So that is the message for Libra. Next we have Scorpio. So we have Scorpio, which is, what is that, King of Swords in reverse. We have 2 of Cups in reverse. And then we have this one, 9 of Swords in reverse. And not all of the cards in this line are in reverse. Those ones happen to be like that. So with your King of Swords in reverse energy, this is this cold, like weak, cruel type of energy. With your 2 of Cups in reverse, you have this sense of there's a lack of teamwork and connection. There's some sort of division that's happening right now for you. You might be feeling like you're in a place of solitude. And then with your Nine of Swords in reverse, this is about like looking for help. You're seeking help. You're trying to recover from this because you don't like this cold, kind of bitter energy where you feel like you're out on your own. Oh, you know what? We forgot to pull one for Libra. I'll go back and add this. Evolution is your card. So I'll comment on that in the comment section. So for Scorpio, oops. So for Scorpio, you know, you're getting to a point where you're trying to seek help. Like you're tired of feeling like you're stuck in this energy of solitude. You're tired of feeling like you're kind of out on your own, and that you just kind of have this bitterness about you for feeling like there's not a collaboration or teamwork. So especially since the lunar eclipse is a Libra one where it's focusing on relationships, it's like you're tired of feeling like you don't have a partner. So whether that's that you're single and you're done with wanting to be single, or whether it's a matter of you're in a relationship but you feel like you're not supported, you feel like you're on your own. Let's take a look at the moon cards. We have a time to give rather than take, and hold your vision. So with this one, we have hold your vision, and then this is new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. So this is about if you're being plagued by this sense of like this cold, bitter, kind of weak sort of energy, think about what is it that you can do to give back, like to be able to contribute. So if you're currently in a relationship, you know, try giving a little bit more, and seeing what that does. So I remember this was from that Dexter New Blood series, and one of the characters was talking to another one and said, you know, whenever I'm really mad at somebody, I do something nice for them. And, you know, kind of like pushing yourself to move through those feelings of anger or bitterness. So kind of almost like that, like it's a time to give, you know, try to push through what that is. If you're single, maybe it's a time to look at how can you connect with somebody in a more giving way. Maybe you've been trying to date and it isn't working, but maybe it's because you're in an energy of, you know what, I'm just going to see what they have to offer me. And so it's like you're kind of holding yourself back, like guarding yourself, but it comes across as being disinterested. And then we have flame tree, the start of something new. So something is wanting to start, something new is wanting to start for you. And this flame tree, it's almost that sense of like burn the old stuff down to the ground so that you can plant something new, so that something better can grow in its place. And especially with the eclipse coming up where you're ending cycles that aren't working for you and you're planting seeds for something new, the seeds to plant is a more giving, a more loving, flowing, nurturing type of energy. And still hold your vision as to what it is that you want. Like, you know, if it's from a relationship standpoint, but you're feeling like you're alone, it's not necessarily that your vision is wrong. It's maybe just trying a different approach, trying a more loving and giving approach. But it looks like you are at a point of seeking help, and you are kind of turning that corner. So that was our message for our Scorpio. All right. And then now let's move to Sagittarius. Here we have our Two of Wands, Eight of Swords in reverse, and then we have our Ace of Cups. So for Sagittarius during this eclipse season, this Two of Wands is that energy of you're making a decision. Maybe you're traveling, but it's like this empowered decision. He's holding the world in his hand and he's deciding where it is that he wants to go. It's also about breaking free from what you had perceived as being like a prison for you. So the Eight of Swords card, the upright is all about feeling like you're trapped, feeling like you have no choices, feeling like you're stuck. And when you put it in the reverse, it's that you're moving on from those feelings of being stuck. So that goes along with this decision making and this personal power, is you are breaking free from whatever you felt like was imprisoning you. And your reward for that is this Ace of Cups energy, which is this creativity, it's this love, it's this new beginning. So for you, as you're looking at this eclipse season, the important thing to look at is, you're breaking free. So you've had that energy of wanting to break free from feeling stuck. So that's the part that is the full moon portion of it, the part that you're leaving behind, and the seeds that you're planting. It's this new love, this new creativity that's wanting to come in. Let's take a look at your moon card. We have a personal issue reaches resolution and a time for healing. So these were your two cards. So this personal issue that is reaching resolution is you're breaking free from whatever you felt like you were trapped in before. So that's going to be your personal issue that is coming to resolution. And your Gaia card is Sacred Heart, passion, love, and spiritual communion. So you're really being driven by love. And that is what is guiding you into this Ace of Cups energy. So this is the new part that's coming in. This is the new beginning, the new moon portion of the eclipse that is coming in for you, Sagittarius. And now we are on to Capricorn. So let's take a look at what is coming in for Capricorn. It was this card here, King of Wands, the Fool in reverse, and then we have our Two of Swords in reverse. So a couple of reverse cards here. This King of Wands energy for you is going to be this sense of like loyalty and leadership. And, so the king is sitting here on his throne, and I never noticed that before. There's like this tiny little lizard here that is sitting at the king's feet. And so, this is that leadership, that loyalty, that sort of energy. And then we have the Fool in reverse. So this is about resisting new beginnings. Like there's something positive that wants to come in, and it's like there's a sense of clinging to the past and not wanting to let that new fresh start come in. And then you have your Two of Swords in reverse, which is kind of this place of indecision. Like you feel like you don't have a good choice, and you're just kind of confused as to what you should do. So it's almost like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to cling to the past and do what I've always done. But the issue is, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. So if you're sitting here and you want to be this strong leader, if you want to kind of, lead by example and feel like you're the one leading your life and you're in charge of your life, you have to make a different decision. So the card that jumped here was South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. So that's, like I said, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always gotten. So it's a new choice. Your South Node is about what is the baggage that you're carrying with you that's keeping you from your path now. And so it says the answers you need are coming. So this is full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. And, Gemini has to do a lot with communication. So you might be sitting here in this energy of, I want to be the leader in my own life. I want to have that sense of meeting these challenges, but at the same time, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I don't know what to do. There isn't a good option. So I'm just going to cling to the past. So the energy that's coming through with the eclipse is letting go of the past and really sitting in that King of Wands energy to say, okay, I want a different result. I need to lead by example in my own life and not let the past keep dictating my future. And your Gaia card is Ocean of Eternal Love, Healing, Creativity, and Fertility. So letting love lead the way. So if you've been clinging to the past because, oh, well, I'm scared to take the next step because what if I get hurt like I did before? This is encouraging you. Don't let those past patterns, past experiences dictate your future. Lead with love. and work on healing, work on your creativity. How do you tap into your source energy? All right, so that was Capricorn. Next, we are on to Pisces. All right. So we have our Six of Cups. That's that nostalgic energy. Ten of Wands. A little bit of stress and burnout there, being overwhelmed. And then we have the Devil in reverse. So this is, you know, the Devil energy, remember, is whatever is keeping you from your highest good. It's whatever's keeping you from your path. So especially as we go into an eclipse, you want to think about what energies are keeping you tied down to past patterns, and what energies are keeping you from being able to embrace your gifts, embrace your true path. So there's been a lot of burnout. You just feel like you're overwhelmed, you're overburdened. And some of this nostalgia is, you know, are you overburdened because you are trying to get your life back to what it used to be like? But, you know, nothing's constant except for change. So things are always going to be changing. So not to say that you can never again have happiness the way you did, but are you clinging to this nostalgic view because you're afraid of moving forward in a different direction? So as it relates to this eclipse coming up, what do you need to release? There's this Devil energy that's keeping you locked in this like reminiscing and the past and tradition, and what is keeping you tied to that is also burning you out. So you need to look at what value do those traditions and that, I'll call it nostalgia, what is that bringing you? And some of those old ideas of the past, even though that might have brought you comfort before, if it's not bringing you comfort now, that's what needs to be let go of as we get into this. And it's, what do you need to release? And surrender to the divine. So full moon, surrender to the divine. And what do you need to release? Which is waning moon. So you need to release whatever is burning you out. So this Devil, and actually the Devil in reverse is about breaking free from that. So this is what you are releasing. So these two go together. So if you've felt like you've been stuck in the past, and maybe from the Devil energy perspective, maybe it's been addictions that have kept you stuck in the past. It's been self-defeating thoughts. It's been, recurring thought patterns, whatever it is. So this is what you're releasing. So you are releasing some of that energy that's kept you stuck, and you're surrendering to the divine and saying, I'm going to, even though that brought me a sense of comfort because it was a known quantity, I'm going to release to the divine and surrender and know that things will be okay. I just have to be brave enough to take that step. Then we have Moonlight Goddess, repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. So the repressed emotions might be that sense of, I'm scared to take a step forward, so I would rather live in the past, but you're releasing that. So you're healing, you're reflecting on, this is the pattern, but this is what I need to release. So that's what you're releasing during the eclipse. And then the new seeds that you're planting, it's some of this reflection. And, when we talk about nostalgia and tradition, create your own new tradition. What are the elements, when you get the warm and fuzzy nostalgia, what are the elements that are warm and fuzzy, and how can you plant new seeds? How can you start something new that will give you a similar feeling, but without all of this structure and framework that's kept you feeling trapped in cycles that aren't necessarily yours? So that was for Pisces. And now we are on to Aries. So let's take a look and see what messages want to come through. Actually, here, I'm not necessarily shuffling these. I'm just going to redo them this way so that they're more evenly spaced to be able to see what all we've got. So for Aries, we have, let's pull this one, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This one's popping up. The Emperor. And and the Star in reverse. So with your Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this is that sense of being like irresponsible and lazy, kind of this like dull energy of, you know, like, and the Emperor. So it's interesting. So the Emperor, there's kind of like two different sides to the Emperor. You can either be that dynamic, engaging leader, where you're taking care of your people, you're leading, and it's the Emperor that everybody looks up to, or it's that Emperor that everyone's like, yeah, well, I guess we're doing that because the Emperor says so. So it's almost more like it's a little bit of that energy of the latter, that it's like that, you know, if you're lazy and dull, it's almost like, yeah, you're the Emperor because you've always been. And so it's more of like you're defaulting into a position that you've always been in. The Star in reverse is also having to do with like just the sense of pessimism and this sense of almost like futility. So in the upright, the Star, it's like that hope and that joy and that optimism, and you know, you're getting your blessings poured down on you from the divine. But in the reverse, it's kind of that opposite. Like you feel like things just aren't quite working out. Like you're stuck. Like you've got just this sense of things aren't really coming together very well, which is putting you in this lazy, dull energy. But what's trying to come through is, how do you make this Emperor, how do you push this Emperor into that dynamic, engaging leader that is in control of their own fate, in control of their own destiny? How do you push to that divine masculine energy? So that is what we have. The part that needs to be released during this full moon eclipse is releasing that pessimism, releasing that dull, kind of lazy energy. It's releasing away from that and leaning into your divine masculine energy of, I'm the creator of my own experience. We have the energy is gaining momentum and your hard work is paying off. So you're going to gain momentum. If you can sit in this Emperor energy, in that divine masculine energy, it will pay off. And it's going to gain momentum on you, but you have to be able to take that step. Like you can't just wait for the divine to do it. You have to step into it, because notice it's saying your hard work is paying off. If you're not doing any of the hard work, it's not going to pay off. Like there's going to be no payoff because you're not doing any work. But if you are working hard, then you will see your blessings coming through. Attachment, letting go, restriction, and fear. So what you are being called to do during this full moon, this Libra lunar eclipse, is what attachments do you have to relationships that are not good connections? So, because remember, this Libra lunar eclipse is all about taking a closer look at your connections and culmination of your connections. Which ones are not serving your highest good? Which ones are not elevating you on your life path? Which ones are keeping you in lower vibrational frequencies? Those are the ones that need to be let go. Those are the attachments that you need to break. That's what you need to do during the full moon part of it. And then start working on, during the new moon part, when the moon is totally dark, start working on that Emperor energy. Start planting those seeds and let that gain momentum for you. All right, that was Aries. Now we will move on to Taurus. We have Two of Pentacles, so you're juggling different priorities right now. Ace of Wands, so a new start that wants to come in. And then your Four of Wands in reverse. So for people on a twin flame journey, the Four of Wands is indicative of a twin flame connection. But generally speaking, your Four of Wands in reverse is about domestic instability. It's about feeling like there's a lack of teamwork. There's a sense of self-doubt. There's this family discord. And you're juggling these priorities, like you're juggling, with this family dynamic, like things just aren't working. And you're trying to juggle it. And so it's that balance between like a new start that wants to come in, and do you cling to the old part that's not working? And so this is, as we look at this eclipse, and again, this is putting heightened focus on relationships. What's happening at home is not working, and that there's elements there that need to be released in order for this to come in, because you do have, like with your Two of Pentacles, you do have something else that's trying to come in. Like you're dealing with change and you're like weighing the decisions of, oh, do I let this change happen? Do I not let this change happen? What do I do? And so you're being pushed to let go of what is causing this family discord and what is causing all these problems at home. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. So new moon in Gemini will be coming in a couple months here. But again, Gemini is all about communication. And then you're very close to achieving your goal. So if your goal is to figure out how do I get out of this position of feeling like I'm constantly juggling, like weighing this decision. What do I do? What do I do? You're close to a realization about what needs to happen, but the communication is the key. So what is it that you need to release? And, this eclipse is the perfect time to release what is not working for you. And purification, fire. So you could be dealing with a fire sign, or this is that sense of burn it to the ground. Like, you're purifying something by putting it in the fire and burning off all that's not working. And it's bare essentials, the naked truth and wholeness. So this is that sense of, burn down what isn't working. And that in and of itself is going to bring you closer to your goal of a fresh new start. So that is our message for Taurus. Now let's take a look at Gemini. We have death. We have got, this one, Ace of Pentacles. So something's ending, and Ace of Pentacles is this new beginning that wants to come through. And here we go. And then we have Eight of Pentacles. So with your Eight of Pentacles, this is about like expertise and fine-tuning your knowledge, your skills. And then your Ace of Pentacles, which is this new opportunity. And you have this chance for prosperity and a new start, but something has to go first. What is it that you need to release during this eclipse, this, the full moon part of it? What do you need to release in order to step forward into this new beginning, and this new beginning that's using your skills? So even though Pentacles are usually more job related, and maybe for some of you this is job related, like you need to let go of whatever your past situation was because now you have new skills and you have a new start coming. But since Libra Lunar Eclipse is about relationships, it's like looking at, okay, I've learned new things. I have these new skills, new appreciation. Maybe it's deep reflection within yourself of what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want. And so, during the death part of it, you're throwing out the past way of doing it. So death is not the same as Tower, where it's this major ground shaking, everything comes crashing down around you, but it's almost like, what is it that you're releasing? What thought patterns, what behaviors, what circumstances are you willingly, intentionally releasing so that you can have a fresh new start? And as it relates to relationships, since this is all about the culmination of, if it's a good connection, how do you deepen that connection? Or if it's not a good connection, asking yourself the tough questions as to why am I accepting this as it is? So it could be that you're ending certain behavioral patterns within that relationship, or you're ending certain thought processes within that relationship in order to bring in a new start. And based on the things that you've learned, you're going to behave differently going forwards. So let things end, and then let this new part, this is the part that you're planting, new opportunities, you're planting that in the new moon part. All right, so we have supermoon, emotions are running high, and luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. So luck is on your side, and this is going to be a very emotionally charged thing. Whatever it is that you're releasing and that you're saying, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore, whether it's the person, like the entire relationship that you're releasing, or just your role or your behaviors within it. You're releasing that, but luck is on your side. So it's going to go better than you think, but you'd have to be comfortable enough to change patterns during the full moon part of it. A hidden gift, sadness and ending a new beginning. So something about whatever is this death card is making you sad, but it's also a hidden gift and there's a new beginning to it. So there's something new that comes up because of the fact that you are releasing what's no longer serving you. So something good, a new beginning is going to happen for you. So that is for Gemini. And here, let me do this, I think, one more time. Should probably be enough to get us through the rest of the reading here. All right. So next we are on to Cancer. We have Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse. And then we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So with our, looking at these, with our Page of Pentacles in reverse, we do have this, again, like this laziness, this lack of direction, like you don't really know what to do. And actually the Lovers is also a decision card. So it's like you don't know what to do. There's this decision. You're not quite sure what you're doing. And then with your Five of Cups in reverse, there is this sense of like moving on and you're turning a corner. So you're not just sitting here lamenting the fact that there's these cups that have spilled over. Because remember, when you look at it, there's 3 cups spilled over. 2 are still standing. So turning it over this way is like you're deciding to look at the cups that are still standing. You're turning that corner. You're moving on. And, you know, so the part that needs to go during the eclipse is this laziness, because you feel like things are out of balance. There's this lack of harmony. There's this probably like the sense of mistrust. And it's like that part is the part that's going, because you're moving on from that. And depending on the extent or the nature of the lack of trust, either you're completely moving on from this relationship, like, hey, this is damaged enough to the point where, you know, neither of us are trying, neither of us trust each other, and that's time to release that relationship. Or, you know, if it's a good connection otherwise, it's a matter of releasing that distrust into the past and saying, okay, we're going to, you know, move forward. We're going to work on this and we're going to turn that corner. We're going to focus on the 2 cups that are still standing and we're going to move forward. All right. Then we have adjustments are required and you and your loved ones are safe. So if there's this sense of, oh, I can't really move on because what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to the kids? What's going to happen to, you know, all of our joint friends, whatever the case may be, they're safe. So don't allow yourself to stay in a situation that you don't want to be in because you're afraid of the impact on everybody else. So first and foremost, what is the impact on you? If you're okay, you know, for example, if you're in a relationship and there's children involved, if you're okay, the kids will be okay. You need to focus on leading by example and showing how you take care of yourself and make sure that you're being respected and valued. So depending on the nature, like I said, depending on the nature of whatever's causing this lack of trust, is going to dictate kind of next steps. But you and your loved ones are safe. And the card that says adjustments are required, if this is a situation where it's just, you know, there was some issue, some slip up, and trust has been affected, you know, how do you move past that? What adjustments can you make that will allow you to move past it in a healthy way? And then we have Night Wind, facing fear, subconscious release, and healing. So facing your fears and releasing those during the full moon part of the eclipse, like releasing that, ending that cycle of being attached to your fears, and then planting the seeds, whatever the adjustments are, starting out on that, like turning this corner, starting out on what are the adjustments we need to make? How can we move on? How can we start kind of fresh? So that was for Cancer. And then now we are on to Aquarius. So yeah, if you've noticed this, this mat has the zodiac signs on there. So that's why I'm making sure that we're not skipping over anybody. Aquarius, the World. King of Cups in reverse. And then we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. So the King of Cups in reverse, there's this sense of manipulation and worry, like you're stressed out because you feel like somebody is manipulating you. With your Eight of Cups in reverse, this is like you're avoiding change. So there's some sort of change that wants to come through and you're avoiding it because you're worried that are you making the right decision or are you being manipulated into making a decision somebody else wants you to make? So instead, you're just kind of stuck in this rut and you are avoiding making any decision because you don't really know what it is deep down that you want and what is the objective truth. So the World card, this is that symbolic, this is that ending. It's the wrapping up of a cycle. So especially with the full moon, that is about wrapping up a cycle. And so you're wrapping up this cycle of feeling this manipulation. So definitely work on your meditating and connecting with your intuition so that you can see what is the true lay of the land, without the manipulation influences of somebody else. So that's what you're being called to do right now. And let's see what other cards are coming in. We have work through your fears and your dreams need a practical plan. So work through your fears of being manipulated. And it is creating this worry and stress for you, but work through those fears and release whatever that negativity is. So if it's that you're worried that you're being manipulated and, well, if I do this, is it because it's serving this person? Focus on you, focus on your dreams. Where is it that you want to go? And then put a plan in place with it. So it's not, I'm going to ignore whatever is causing me this stress and this worry, but rather than focusing your energy on something that, needs to change, focus your energy on where you want to go to. And then that way, it kind of takes the wind out of the sails on this other aspect that you feel like is being stressful or manipulating you. So kind of let that part come to an end. And the new beginning part for you is focusing on your goals. It's planting those seeds for you. And what is it that you want going forward? Alrighty. And here we have Moonlight, travel, romance, and potential. So with Moonlight, during the moon as well, but it's kind of that dreamy state of what is it that you really want. So you do have this, push that you need practicality for what it is that you want, but allow yourself to dream and allow yourself to kind of have that sense of, what is my picture perfect scenario? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? And start planting those seeds during this eclipse. How do I get there? What are some small baby steps I can take right now to build momentum towards where it is that I want to go? So that was for Aquarius. Now we are on to Leo. We have Seven of Cups in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And Six of Swords in reverse. So we have a couple of sevens in here. So our Seven of Pentacles and our Seven of Cups both in reverse. So there's too many options for you right now. Like you're getting, you're getting distracted by the fact that there's too many options. It's like you don't really know what choice to make because there's too many choices. And then with your Seven of Pentacles in reverse, that's like you're kind of getting started on projects and then you stop because it's like, well, but there's this other choice. I don't know, maybe this one's harder than I thought it was going to be. But then with your Six of Swords in reverse, this is like you're resisting positive change. You're feeling stuck. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So it's almost like there's too many different options for you and you're getting stuck. Like it's kind of like you get a little bit of momentum in one direction and it's like, oh, I don't know, is this really what I want? And then you're looking at the other options and you're resisting a positive change that's trying to come in. So one of these options that you're looking at is going to bring in some positive change, but it's like you're not getting enough momentum or enough oomph in any one direction to be able to see that positive change, to be able to see what the right path is for you. So something to consider is take a step back from action for just a beat. Focus on your meditation and see what is it that you're really being called to do. What is it that you know, where is it that you want to go? And I love that it's a line from Alice in Wonderland when she comes to a fork in the road and she asks the Cheshire Cat which direction she should go. And he says, well, that depends on where you want to get to. And she said, it doesn't really matter. And he said, well, then it doesn't really matter what path you take. So it's that sense of there's too many options. So it's like, oh, okay, well, let's just start at the beginning. Let's take a look at this option. No, okay, let's take a look at this one. Like, so you need to figure out where you want to go to see which option is going to take you there. So once you're able to get this clearer plan in your mind of this is where I want to go, it's easier to judge options that are coming up and evaluate them against, does this bring me closer to my goal? Does it take me further away from my goal? Or is it just neutral? That it doesn't take me closer, doesn't take me further. It's just something to do. So, so that's why it's really important to know where it is that you're wanting to go. All right. Nothing is yet set in stone, and bring love into the situation. So nothing is set in stone. So you have all these different options, but nothing is set in stone yet. So especially because of the fact that this Libra lunar eclipse has to do with love and relationships, if you have too many options out there, you're not really going to make any headway if your goal is that you want to find the right partner, you want to be able to settle down with somebody and build a future with them. If there's too many options and you kind of have this start and stop energy of, okay, well, I'm going to go on a date with this one, go on a date with that one, go on a date with that one, and have to figure out which direction I want to go. Like, to some extent, those behaviors might be moving you further away from being able to find the right partner or find a long-term partner, because the long-term partner might look at that and say, but wait a second, like, if you're serious, why are you here and here and here and here? So that's why you need to align yourself with where it is that you want to go. So nothing is yet set in stone as it relates to these options, but you need to bring love into the situation. So you need to think about it from a loving perspective of, what is it that I'm doing? Where is it that I want to go? And, you know, we had this saying at work, don't confuse activity with accomplishment. So don't be busy just for the sake of being busy. Don't go out on, you know, a whole bunch of dates just for the sake of going out on dates if that's not really in alignment with where it is that you want to go from a relationship standpoint. So, jewel within a teardrop: appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. So as we look at this as it relates to this lunar eclipse, go at it from the perspective of what needs to be released, what relationship, what seeds do I want to be planting and watering right now, and I'm going to release the rest of that, whether it's certain behavioral patterns, whether it's certain people, to be able to get myself in alignment with where it is that I want to go. So that was the message for Leo. And now we are on to Virgo. Last but not least, our Virgos. We have our Seven of Swords in reverse. Interesting that our sevens keep coming up in reverse. We have the Hanged Man. And then right here, we have our Ace of Swords in reverse. So with our Seven of Swords in reverse, this is like this sense of confession and remorse. So kind of laying it all out there. Your Hanged Man is that self-imposed period of reflection and looking at what it is that you've done, like what in your past, what are you going to do about this current situation? And then your Ace of Swords in reverse is about this confusion and kind of like this loss of focus. Like, what do I do? So this, for our Virgos, this is an interesting mix. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm compelled to do that. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So this is, destined and fated, but there's some delays. So there's something that you feel like you need to apologize for. So there's an apology coming, but you've kind of put yourself into this reclusiveness as you're thinking about what is it that I need to do. So when we look at this with the lunar eclipse, the part that needs to be released, the part that needs to go, is whatever the heaviness is that's hanging around this confession, this remorse. So maybe you've been staying in a relationship that you don't really want to be in because you don't know how to tell the person. So that could be the confession, that you're like, your heart isn't in it anymore, and that's been creating these delays in your life moving forward because you're just not, you don't know how to say it. And you feel bad about, I guess having kind of those feelings of, oh, I've wasted this person's time, I've wasted my time because my heart isn't in it and I didn't know how to express that. And then, like with this Ace of Swords in reverse, there's this confusion, this sense of, well, but, is that really how I feel? Like then kind of second guessing yourself. So it's like you're second guessing the fact that you need to come clean. And so it's like you've been trying to see it from different perspectives, like, oh, but what about this? Or what about this? Let's pull a couple oracle cards here to look at the bigger picture, and a new romantic cycle begins. So there's a new cycle, and maybe that's part of the reason why you're being pushed to say this, is there's something new that's wanting to start. But you have the sense of knowing that you can't start something new while there's still this old energy that's hanging out there. So when you look at the bigger picture here, this is for our Virgos. So when you're looking at the bigger picture here, what is it that's going to get you onto your life path? What is the lesson that you're supposed to learn? How can you lean in and embrace the messages that are trying to come through for you from Spirit? Then we have rising above, clarity, freedom, and solution. So if you can rise above whatever the current issue is, you'll be able to see it in a different light. So this is the example I use during the daily readings a lot of, can you zoom out and look at your life as if you're reading a book, watching a play, watching a movie. What are the themes the main character is dealing with? And you as an audience member watching it, or observer or the reader of the book, if you were writing a book report to say, these are the major challenges that this character encountered, this is what the character did to overcome it, what are those lessons? So if you can rise above it, you can get some of that clarity, and you can get some freedom of, rather than feeling like this is all happening to me, if you can see what the bigger picture is, if you can see what the way this story is unfolding, the way this play is going, you can behave in a little bit of a different manner. So that's that bigger picture. So the part that you're needing to release is, you need, whatever this confession is, whatever you're holding on to that you don't want to say, that's what you need to say during this full moon portion, so that you can have that fresh new start. And so sometimes too, this new romantic cycle beginning, it could also still be with the same person. As I said, like this is focusing on relationships, because with this Libra lunar eclipse, it's bringing things to culmination. If it's a good connection, but there's something that's been dogging you that you need to say, that you feel bad about saying, now is the time to say it so that you can have a fresh start. And it could be something where you're still in the same relationship with the same person, but it's a new cycle for you. It's a new, fresh cycle because you've had the courage to say what's weighing on you. So I hope that this has been helpful, these messages for the eclipse. And as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted when new videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.